All right, let's bring in our reporter, Pule Letshwiti-Jones. He attended the Thabo Mbeki lecture at eNCA in Pretoria today. Of course, Thabo Mbeki had a lot to say about Eskom. He's saying management past and present needs to be held accountable for our electricity problems. He had a lot to say about a lot of things, Pule. Let's just take a listen to what he said about the problems facing South Africa.
I think we face a major challenge here at home. It's a challenge of leadership. Here we face with enormous challenges with the economy, enormous challenges with the politics, enormous challenges about matters of peace, security, safety of the population, many challenges of this kind. And a critical ingredient I believe we need to resolve those problems is a good leadership. In government and generally in society.
So, Pule, that's an interesting comment. We have a challenge of leadership, saying we're facing a litany of problems, and critical in all of this is good leadership. And he went on to say not only politically, but in all areas. Do you think this was a bit of a sideswipe, perhaps, at Cyril Ramaphosa, who at that very moment was meeting with his cabinet to discuss the Eskom crisis?
Yeah, well, definitely, Sally. I mean, you know, the former president has never minced his words when it came to criticizing the current administration and, of course, leadership. In fact, he goes into detail to say that when you look at the National Development Plan, its focus, it's only around the vision of some of the policies that look at, changing the landscape and the conditions in the country that are currently challenging many citizens. He says there isn't any backbone plan as to what are some of the things that can be implemented to ensure that they speak to issues of peace and security, economy, the high unemployment rate, amongst other challenging critical issues. And he also says that this, of course, stems from the lack of intelligentsia within the communities as well, saying that many are still not brought into the mood of having to understand the atmosphere of politics. He also says that this is not an issue of education, but an issue of politics. He believes that without any proper leadership, the advancement of the affairs of South Africa can never be improved, which of course speaks to economy. He's lashed at not only the ANC as well, but like you've mentioned, the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, saying a lot still has to be done in terms of speaking to critical issues of SOEs that remain challenged as well, such as Eskom, saying that yes, the current leadership should of course be challenged, but this backdates to 2007, very well knowing, saying that these are certain things that need to be spoken about in a dialogue. Looking into these challenges is something that needs to be had.
I mean, it's a very interesting comment if you bear in mind that he was the president at that time, and he is on record as issuing a public apology saying Eskom was right, we were wrong as government in not giving the go-ahead to build new power stations. So do you think he's trying to pull back from that apology? What was he getting at?
Well, you know, when you look at the kind of response coming from those we've spoken to here and on social media, many are saying that this was actually a time where he was also supposed to be taking accountability, because this issue of the energy crisis doesn't only start now. It's something that backdates to a lot of years behind us, including that under his tenure. And we understand currently right now that we find ourselves in this predicament of stage 6 load shedding. But of course, one would also look at this critical aspect of him saying that this started in 2007 with the issues of procurement processes and how other tenders were awarded to certain companies. You know, he doesn't go into detail to say that he was the current, president under that administration and year then. So, you know, it brings a lot of contrary aspects to what he was trying to say. But if you look at the engagement on social media, in fact, many are saying that he should be taking accountability for what had happened and what they believe stemmed from his administration as well.